not the best phone. Anyone who work and they get Social Security taken out on a regular basis automatically assumes that when it's time to retire, it'll be there. I mean, they had no problem with taking it out. So I filed for Social Security. Then I find out that if you wasn't born here, you got to show proof that you were in the country legally. Here all this time you're thinking that you're a citizen, and then you find out that you're not because of something that's beyond your control. All my documents, adoption records, my mom had them in an apartment. There was a house fire. All that got destroyed. I've searched every adoption agency, every agency that has to do like Korean International Social Services, anything that has to do with adoptions. I pursued it, just come up blank. And the problem is, I need to know what my Korean name is. You can't really do a search unless you know that name. I was born December 5th, 1954, in Seoul, South Korea. I was adopted at the age of 3. I can actually remember or recall coming here at 3 years old. I came down the stairs and my new adoptee parents, Ann and Norman Harris, asked me what was my name. I spoke Korean when I came over here, and the strange thing is I don't speak a word of it now. I did find my dad. On his gravestone, it says World War II, Korea. He was a veteran of both wars. I'm a journeyman carpenter. I got into insurance work. So, people, your house burned down, I'm the one to come out and going to rebuild it for you. I did that all the way for like 10 years. That's when my wife got ill. They found out that she had what you would call small cell lung cancer. That's the worst type because it's very small and it spreads rapidly. We battled and battled. I retired early because it was so debilitating that she had to have constant care. I quit my job and took care of her until, she passed 6 months from that. Recently now, been taking care of my granddaughter because of the COVID and the remote learning. And that's a major challenge within itself. Okay, here, this is 6 times what? I filed for Social Security. It goes all the way back to the age of 16. Right now, I'm surviving off my wife's pension. Really, that's not enough. I've been like this for the past 3 years now. And when you try to do everything right, the right way and proper procedures, and then you come up to something and there's nothing you can do. Everything is dependent on other people to try to remedy my situation. So that feels a little frustrating because I'm a hands-on type person.
India and Russia, where there's more COVID and less recovery. That's a lot like the US.
Because law enforcement is working hand in hand a lot of times with ICE and detention centers, and they don't want their families broken up.
Sometimes we don't know what's in front of us. I didn't know that I was going to end up disabled. Believe me, I'd rather be working because what I'm getting in a month, I could make more than that in a whole week working at an aerospace company. I have a disc disease in my spine. It's very severe, it's very painful, and I have a thyroid disease as well. I'm an international adoptee without citizenship. My current situation is I'm under deportation. They told me I'm a woman with no country. I'm under supervision for 20 years. I was adopted in 1964 from an orphanage in South Korea. I was only 3 months old. My father fought in World War II. In 95, I took a girl home in my car. She had drugs on her. At the time, they did the 3-strike law. I went to prison. I did 5 years and 8 months. And I couldn't take it to trial to prove my innocence. I had to take what the judge offered me because they were giving people 25 to life for stealing a piece of candy out the store. And I lost my father. I asked him to hold on just a little longer because I would be home within the next year. I was angry at the system. They made me do some time for something I didn't do. I paid into taxes. I don't get the full benefits that a person that has naturalization. I'm living off of $833 a month. And when that runs out, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I love you.
I love you too. Keep me posted.
I will. I miss you. And
Miss you always. Love you. Tell Fatty I said love him.
all right, baby.
Bye, Mama.
They wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning with flashlights in your face. They give you the sweatshirt and some jeans to put on. You can't tell anybody that you're going to be deported. The guys that were on the bus with me telling me, "Don't worry, Mommy, you're going to be able to come back. Don't cry." And the ICE officer told the one guy not to tell me that because I wasn't going to be able to come back. I was adopted at around 8 years old. Shortly after that, I lost my leg to cancer. The sheriffs came knocking on my door early 2004. Some of the things I was accused of, I wasn't even working at that time. The judge told me that I had no rights in this country and that I wasn't a citizen and that my 2 options were deportation or hire another lawyer. The ICE officer that was taking me, he said, "So what are you gonna do, Rip?" And I was like, "I gotta get my other 401k to fight this." And he told me, he goes, "You're not the first adoptee through here. You're not gonna be the last. You have no support." I was going on 2 years away from my daughter. After my last phone call with her, I decided that I can't be locked up anymore, that I had to go and I had to get her. So I asked for the sergeant to come, and I told the sergeant that I wanted to sign to be deported. So that was that's how I found out, and that's what happens when you're not a citizen. I didn't understand it because I don't know anything else but the US. They walked me up to the gate. And walked me to the door of the plane. And I sat down right next to the motor, next to the window. I wanted to look out the window so bad, but I couldn't. I couldn't believe that the only country that I knew was kicking me out this way. After they had welcomed me as a child. I pled guilty to grand larceny, falsifying business record to the tune of $3,400 and something dollars. I'm not putting one crime against another because I don't think that if you're an adoptee, there is a deportable crime because our family is in the US. I want to go home. I want to be back with my family.
Adoptees were in a position where we're in no man's land.
Being an adoptee without being naturalized, so we all go through trauma.
I would like to be afforded what was promised to me when I was adopted. I was promised a family, a home, a country.
I might be disabled, but I have enough fight in me by the grace of God to fight for international adoptees, to get citizenship and bring back our deportees. I will continue until God takes me out of here. I will fight for them to be all brought home. The US is our country.
The only hope that I have to be able to go home is for the law to be fixed, for this loophole to be closed.
It's time for Congress to step up.